असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय
असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः Good evening. So, Andaru bagunara. Tomorrow this bridge will be inaugurated. Those who are coming from Usman University side, I think they will be able to come quickly. There will be less of traffic this side automatically because the traffic will get distributed between the bridge and the road below. Those who will be coming below also, they will have less traffic automatically. So, you will be the beneficiaries of the bridge, new bridge. Right, please see page number 63. The second quote in the page. We may all manage to maintain our bodies more or less satisfactorily and for longer and shorter intervals of time. Nevertheless, our bodies have to go. There is no permanence about them. Blessed are they whose bodies get destroyed in the service of others. But also please see the quote on page number 65. The second quote again in the page. Take my advice. Na salaha తీసుకోండి. Set yourself wholly to the service of others when you come from your colleges. Believe me, far greater happiness would then be yours than if you had had a whole treasury full of money and other valuables at your command. As you go on your way serving others, you will advance accordingly in the path of knowledge. So, they are all secrets of life. So, what Vivekananda is giving us is secrets of life. We are all in search of happiness, I told you many times. But how to get the real happiness, how to make us fulfilled. Swami is saying you work for others. పరోపకారార్థం ఇదం శరీరం. విన్నారు కదా, ఈ శరీరం మనకి దేవుడు ఎందుకు ఇచ్చాడంటే ఇతరులకి సహాయం చేయడానికి. ఇతరులకు సహాయం చేసే ప్రక్రియలో మనకి జ్ఞానం కలుగుతుంది. ఇన్ ద ప్రాసెస్ యూ ఎక్వైర్ నాలెడ్జ్ అండ్ యూ బికమ్ ఫుల్ఫిల్డ్. యూ విల్ అటైన్ యువర్ గాడ్హుడ్, డివైన్ బీయింగ్. సో that's why Swami is saying, let your bodies, anyway the bodies won't last long, today we are there, tomorrow we are not there. Death will consume, will devour us, our bodies. So before death comes to our doorstep and takes us away from this world, you make good use of this instrument by working for others, by serving others. That's what actually they're teaching from our scriptures. So blessed are they whose bodies get destroyed in the service of others. ఇతరులకు సేవ చేసే ప్రక్రియలో ఎవరైతే శరీరం అయితే నాశనం అయిపోతుందో వాళ్ళు ధన్యజీవులు అంటున్నారు స్వామిజీ. సో రైట్ హియర్, సో ఇన్ ద మహాభారత వీ హ్యావ్ దిస్ స్టోరీ. The Kurukshetra war was over and Yudhishthira was doing Ashwamedha sacrifice. In those days they used to do Ashwamedha sacrifice. Horse sacrifice it's called. So Ashwamedha sacrifice, as part of the sacrifice they will release the horse and the horse will travel across different countries, and whoever refuses to accept the suzerainty of the king, he has to fight a battle with the king. But after all, Kurukshetra war, practically all the kings of that particular period of time either aligned with the Pandavas or the Kauravas. Now Pandavas won the war. So it was not necessary, but Yudhishthira did it as a formality. Is there anybody who refuses to accept our suzerainty? Today, actually, now we are the kings of the earth. It's a declaration, kind of. Ashwamedha sacrifice. So because the whole treasury was at his disposal as part of the sacrifice, he had given gifts to pious people, Brahmins, poor people, whoever had asked for anything, Yudhishthira had given. Because the whole treasury was with him, right? So seeing all that, the grandeur, the pomp of the sacrifice, the priests actually started eulogizing Yudhishthira. He said, "O king, never before a sacrifice was done like this. Nabhuto nabhavishyati. And also not it will be done in the future, because nobody will have this much of money like Yudhishthira, because he is the king of the entire Bharatavarsha." And when they were singing his praises, at that point of time, a mongoose comes there suddenly. And a strange mongoose. His head was golden and also a part of its body, half of its body was in gold color. And then he started speaking in human language to all the people assembled there. This is no sacrifice at all. Idoka yagname gadanadu okate mata. Whereas the priests were extolling, praising Yudhishthira, saying that Nabhuto Nabhavishyati, never before a sacrifice has been done like this. And this mongoose comes and says, this is no sacrifice, Mungisa. So everybody was suddenly turned towards the mongoose and it said, why? It started telling the story. There was a Brahmin by name Saktupastha near Kurukshetra. He was very poor. He would teach, different scriptures to people and whatever they would give, with that he would manage his family. So he was very poor by nature, and also at the same time, where he was living, there had been actually kind of famine. There were no rains for 3 years continuously. People became very poor. There was no food available for people, and they were struggling a lot, half-starved, most of the population. The Brahmin family also was struggling and struggling. One day, with great difficulty, he could procure little barley flour, barley powder for his family. So this half-starved family wanted to eat that. So Brahmin actually given, the Saktupastha has given a little portion to his wife, to his son and daughter-in-law. They were a family of 4. And when they were about to eat that barley flour, suddenly a guest comes there and he knocks at the door. And guest says, "I'm very hungry." In our Indian culture, Atidhi Devo Bhava. When a guest comes, we must treat the guest like God himself. So because that was the custom, they had to practice that. And this Saktupastha welcomes him. Welcome, holy guest, please come and have food. And his share of barley powder he gives to that guest. Guest eats that, he says, "My hunger has not been appeased, I am more hungry now." And then Brahmin's wife, Saktupastha's wife, offers her food. Then Saktupastha says, "No, as a husband, I have responsibility towards you. Bharta ante bharinchevaadu. So I have to bear you in the sense that I have to feed you, I have to provide for you. and I can't bear to see you because you're already half starved, with starving more. At that point of time, she says, as wife, I have a responsibility towards, you. And wife means sahadharmacharini. So you are performing your duty, and I have to assist you in your performance of your duty. Suppose if the guest is not satisfied, he leaves our family, dissatisfied, that will be curse upon us. Okay, so please take my share on it. Give it to the guest because his hunger has not been appeased. So Saktupasta takes his wife's share and gives it to the guest. But guest says, still I am hungry. Now his son comes forward. Oh father, you take my share and give it to the guest. And father says, son is, you're like a small child. There's a grown up son, but still father says, even though the son is grown up, for every father, his son is like a small child. How can I allow you to starve? So I can't give your portion to the guest. But the son says that if you falter on your dharma, okay, a son is actually father only reborn as son. Okay, if you falter on your dharma and you will incur sin, okay, మీకు పాపం వస్తుంది. సో మీకు పాపం తీసుకురావడానికి నా భాగస్వామ్యం ఉన్నట్టు అవుతుంది అందులో. సో ఐ కాంట్ యాక్చువల్లీ allow you to incur that kind of sin, father. Please offer my share also, my portion also to this guest and let him satisfy his hunger. But the guest eats that, also eats that, but afterwards he says that, no, my hunger still has not been appeased. Now whose portion is left? Daughter-in-law's portion. And she gives it to the guest. And she says that, please share. And father-in-law says, no. You have come from another family. I can't take your food and give it to the guest. She says, all I have is only to offer it to you. You are my guru. So please take it. Please give me this opportunity to serve the guest. And that portion also has been given to the guest, and ultimately he is satisfied now. Yes, my hunger actually is appeased now. I go here. But then actually the guest was none other than Dharma Devata. He was Lord Yama himself, Dharma Devata. He appears there before, in his true form, before Saktupasta and says, this is the real sacrifice. Okay? Now actually you board this aerial chariot. I will take you to Brahmaloka. Saptarshis and Brahma is waiting there for you. So board this chariot, aerial chariot. Pushpaka Vimanam antam kada, Pushpaka Vimanam pratyakshamayindi akkada. So he asked the entire family actually board, and I will take you to Brahmaloka. So the mongoose says, this is no sacrifice. The mongoose actually saw all this, the conversation happening between the guest coming afterwards, transforming to Dharma Devata, between Dharma Devata and Saktupasta, what conversation happened. So this family boarded the aerial chariot and left for Brahmaloka, and then actually this mongoose goes there. And a little of barley powder was there on the floor. It just rolled there. And its body, my head turned gold, my half of the body turned gold. Ever since, whenever I hear that a great yagna has happened, I would go there and actually roll on the place, thinking that my other half also would become gold, but it has never happened. So this is no sacrifice at all. That Saktupasta, the real sacrifice, the mongoose says. So when we give from our own self, that is actually the real charity. So, but today, in this country, to give from our possessions, we find it so difficult. And our ancestors, our forefathers were so exceptional in following dharma and self-sacrifice spirit. మనకి ఈ స్టోరీస్ అన్ని పాఠ్యాంశాలు భాగంగా చేసి చెప్పేవాడు. ఎందుకంటే అంత నిస్వార్థత కాకపోయినా కనీసం కొంచెం మన ధర్మం మనం చేస్తాం, కొంచెం త్యాగబుద్ధి మనకి అలవాటు అవుతుందని. టుడే ఇఫ్ యూ జస్ట్ సీ ఇన్ కంట్రీ ఎవ్రీవేర్, పర్టికులర్లీ అవర్ కంట్రీ, greed. We accumulate more than what we need. We don't understand that we are making life very hard for others. People are actually groaning under the weight of this burden of life, because there are a few people who have become very greedy, intensely greedy, keep on amassing and accumulating wealth, not knowing that actually thereby they are causing trouble to their fellow human beings. It's a beautiful story. There are so many such exceptional examples. Whenever I get an opportunity, I will tell you. Thank you this much for today.